Chapter 1. Dear Rose, I'll bet you never thought you'd hear from me again. I've thought about calling or writing, but you know how it is. How are you and the boys? Bet they're getting big. Bet you're probably mad at me, and I don't blame you. I'm going to be in Calgary for a rodeo. Thought I might drop in and see you. Medicine River sat on the broad back of the prairies. It was an unpretentious community of buildings banked low against the weather that slid off the eastern face of the Rockies. Summer was hot in Medicine River and filled with grasshoppers and mosquitoes. Winter was cold and long. Autumn was the best season. It wasn't good, just better than the other three. Then there was the wind. I generally tried to keep my mouth shut about the wind in Medicine River. Harlan Big Bear was like the prairie wind. You never knew when he was coming or when he was going to leave. Most times I was happy to see him. Today I wasn't. I had other things to do. There were photographs in the wash and 3 strips of natives that had to be printed. But that didn't stop the wind from blowing, and it didn't stop Harlan. Hey, said Harlan, which is not the way Harlan normally says hello. What? Hey, what do you think, Will? Real busy, Harlan. Somebody in trouble? Harlan had a strong sense of survival, not just for himself, but for other people as well. He took on a lot of weight, and the one thing he enjoyed more than helping someone out with their burden was sharing it with others. If you pass misery around and get everyone to take a piece, Harlan liked to say, you won't throw up from the taste of too much grief. It wasn't something I went around repeating. Nobody's in trouble, Will. Hey, time I took you out to lunch, thought we could go on over to that new place with all the posters and plants. Harlan, it's 10 o'clock. Beat the crowd. Give us a chance to talk. Hey, good friends should do that, you know. Dear Rose, boy, you should see the weather around here. Snowed like the blazes last night. How's the weather down south? Sorry I didn't stop in. I called a couple of times, but you must have stepped out. I want to come down and see you and the boys. Maybe take you out to dinner and a show. Write if you can, chick. If you have someone else, you should let me know. There was no one else in Casey's. The woman at the counter told us that lunch hadn't started and that all we could get was coffee or tea. Tea's fine, just had breakfast. How about you, Will? Not hungry yet, are you? She put us at a window table. Casey's was on the 3rd floor of the old Merchants Bank building. You could see the Medicine River fire station across the street. The fire engines had moved to the new firehouse on 6th Avenue, leaving the station with its turn-of-the-century round bell tower to the pigeons and the seagulls. Say, said Harlan, what a great view. What do you think? If we stood on the table, we could probably see the river. Reserve is just over there. It was going to take Harlan until noon just to get to what he wanted to tell me. The tea arrived and Harlan dipped the bag up and down in the pot, long, easy strokes, like he figured on staying there until supper. Well, you remember Wilma Whiteman? She passed away last week. I nodded.